for number 3, Young versus Los Angeles Police Department.
Yes, I'm here.
Have plaintiff's appearance, please.
Here I am. Hold on.
Okay. All right.
There I am.
Okay. All right. So you asked to continue this. I'm okay with that. We can continue it to May 5th at 10 o'clock. Does that work for you?
Not after watching you yesterday. I really like you. You seem to want to solve problems, and maybe you could help me with some problems I'm having. This is related. It's a standalone. So if the family court case can't get heard or transferred to your court, it's a standalone case. But the whole purpose of this case is I have also a related case in federal court. So if you know the history of this, you might be able to help me out a little bit. I had a civil harassment restraining order against me that I believed was fraudulently obtained or was fake the whole time. And I have a long history, of, trying to reform family court and family law. I'm very nonviolent. I've been to law school subsequently after all that, trouble back in 2006. So I kind of, I know my way around the law a little bit. And so the goal here is to reform family court, but it's also a little bit of a security issue this is a restraining order that was filed against me on behalf of Kelly Clarkson, a very prominent and well-known person. I'm not sure you know her, but she's a pop singer and has a talk show. And it was really well publicized all over TMZ. And the federal case is Young versus, EHM Productions, Inc., which is TMZ. That's in federal court, filed on, August 8th, 2025. I just did it very quickly because there was a statute of limitations on malicious prosecution. I got out of jail on August 8th, 2023. So this restraining order, I thought, was fake from the beginning, and I said it when I was arrested. I was just trying to be served properly because they didn't serve me properly, and I was just trying to push them up against the wall to do some illegal things, So I'm not innocent. I'm not somebody who doesn't know what she was doing. I was recording this the whole time, and it was the only way I could fight back the defamation happening at TMZ. So I have so much evidence. I have evidence and facts and time. Everything is on my side. So I don't mind if you can't help me on this. And that's why I said, I love what you said yesterday. This is just a waste of time. It's just a waste of time for me to try to get this information this way. But maybe you could help me because.
No, I didn't say that to you, but I.
No, I know, but you were talking to some people, and I just loved it. You were like, what are you doing? And it just seemed to be a waste of time. So I don't want to deal with this case. But now, it might not be a waste of time if I could have your ear. I couldn't believe I'm talking to a judge. I mean, I'm having problems with court clerks since 20 years ago. I can't ever see a judge. But so all I want, I'm not. If it says Young versus LAPD, it just everybody puts up, circles the wagons, and I'm not trying to sue LAPD, even though I'm suing LAPD. The case in federal court, by the way, it doesn't mention any government entities. It doesn't even mention specific people. It's only private corporations. And the people I'm actually after.
Let me if I can ask you a question.
Sure.
What is it that you actually want in this case?
Perfect.
I cannot give you legal advice.
No. Okay. So here goes. I knew you were going to ask me this. Are you ready? So here's what I want. And you might have to. So yesterday you said something like I had to file a notice of related case. I did in this. You see on the docket. I did this on November 7th. In this case, it's a notice of related case. It goes to Department 1, and then it just sits in limbo because nobody wants to have anything. It's a very highly political case, okay? So
okay, well, hold on 1 second. Okay, so are you telling me that you did file and you have filed a proof of service showing that you filed the notice of related case in the family law case and in Department 1? Because I didn't see that.
Okay, so you need a proof of service. So I filed. Now, the proof of service is the odd part because I can't get the service on LAPD. I did it by email, and I sent them a thing saying,
No, it's not on LAPD. It's not. You need to serve the notice of related case on the family law court that has the case, you file it in that case, and you need to file it in Department 1, just like you filed the document in this case.
Okay.
Irrespective of, if LAPD had already appeared, you would have to serve them, but you haven't served them yet.
Okay. So I went to family law yesterday. I went to the family law and I filed a notice of related case there. It's exactly like the one here. Oh, I'm so glad. This is what I need. I know I need an attorney, but I know my law. I just didn't know that. So I have to serve that, and I put a proof of service, but the proof of service was the attorney on that case was Egg McPherson and Kelly Clarkson, and I can't seem to serve these people, even LAPD. So I need to serve notice of related. I really want you on that case. Yeah.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah, let me interrupt. So yes, you have to serve the people that were in that other case, because they're already appearing. But my understanding is here, you have not yet served the LAPD. So right now, as far as the notice of related case, that's not an issue here. But so if you went ahead and served the notice of related case in the family law case, and served the people in that case, and then you served it in Department 1. However they take service in Department 1, I don't really know. I think you have to deliver it to the department.
Okay.
But you need to get it to Department 1, because what happens when there's a family law case and a civil case, there's a conflict there. And neither of us are at a high enough level to say what happens. It goes to Department 1, which is the supervising judge, and he will say, okay, these cases need to be related, and they're going to go to family law, or they're going to go to civil, or they're going to go sometimes to Department 1. That's rare. But he is the one who will say what happens, or he'll say they're not going to be related, they go their separate ways.
Okay, so if that, I don't mind that. I mean, okay, you said, what do I want? I want that case related, but we don't have to relate it. I think the standalone and what I'm asking, what do I want on this case once LAPD is.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
The relating of the cases is not an option for you. That's a court rule. So.
Right, I don't need it related.
Think that they have, okay, but it's not about whether you need it.
I don't need it for this case. This is a standalone. This is a standalone case of, California.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, it's not actually a standalone case, because you have another case in family law, and they appear to be related. The judge may decide in Department 1 that he's not going to relate them, which is probably likely, because they don't generally relate a family law case to a civil case. Sometimes, rarely, they'll say it, but he probably won't relate it. So we need to get a ruling from Judge Riff in Department 1 as to whether this is going to be related or not. In the meantime, you need to continue going forward with your case, in this case, against LAPD.
Right. So.
Okay, so you need to get them served with the complaint and the summons.
It's not a complaint is the problem. It's very confusing because it is a.
The petition.
Right. Well, that's a problem if you can just solve that problem and make it very clear that they wouldn't allow me to serve
You
the.
still have to serve the petition.
Yes.
Whoever you name it, petition or complaint, that doesn't make any difference. Whoever it is you've named here as the respondent, you need to go serve the agent for the LA Police Department.
Right. And I did, but they were the wrong address, and they're slow walking it, which is why I said May. Okay, I said fine. But I mean, I might not even need to serve this. We could solve this whole thing. I don't want all that information. I'm just trying to answer some questions.
Well,
Well,
ma'am,
yeah.
your two choices then are either you serve them or you dismiss the case.
Okay, I'll serve them. So if you can, well, what I was wondering is, I mean, we could serve them and have the case continue in another 2 weeks, but I did it until April because they're going to slow walk it. They're making me re-mail it in and do all this thing, and then they say on the phone.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to spend too much more time.
Right.
So the dilemma you have is you have to get proof of service filed, effective service, in this case on the LAPD. So that sounds like it's going to take you some time
Yes.
to get that done properly.
Okay.
So I think your idea of continuing was probably a good one. So you go forward
Okay.
with
Okay.
getting them served, and then also we'll go forward with the relating of the cases. And by May, and my proposal is May 5th.
Oh, good.
We'll have to have all that sorted out.
Just the service and I'm just telling you that I really want you on this case, and they might try to say there's some kind of conflict of interest with you on this and not let you on this case.
No.
Okay. No, there will be.
There's no, not that I'm aware.
Well, can I tell you
I don't think there
can
will
I
be.
tell you what the conflict might be? Can I tell you? Okay, so the four attorneys I'm after from way back in 2008 are the two most popular attorneys to ever come out of Loyola Law School. Okay, who's that? It's Laura Wasser and Samantha Spector. Okay, Family Law Court. We have conflict going on. I've had conflict with her since 2008 when she was Britney Spears' attorney. Okay, fine. So, and this whole thing is probably run by those two and Brian Friedman and Ed McPherson. All right? I'm just telling you that's my theory. And
I don't know any of those people.
Okay, so when I filed it in federal court, they assigned the case to Victor L. Sue. Okay, he's an adjunct professor, or he has, given classes at Loyola Law School. And then they assigned it to a magistrate judge with him, and her name is Alicia Rosenberg, who is an adjunct professor at Loyola Law School and Jewish. And Victor Sue actually clerked for a very famous.
Ma'am, I'm not going to be able to go into all this detail.
Okay.
I don't teach at Loyola Law School, so that's
Yeah, but you came from there, and it's like, I'm just saying the case was not assigned to you. Okay.
Ma'am, that is not a basis. We all come from some law school.
Fantastic.
Law
Okay.
school we went to.
So please don't let him disqualify you. Please don't let him disqualify you, because the two other women on the case from family court were Hillary Gerber and Kelly whatever on this case. There's only two people, and they were anyway. All I want is one sentence from Los Angeles County, Los Angeles court. One sentence that I could take to federal court that says the civil harassment restraining order is now vacated based on fraud. That's all I want. I don't want it based on a technicality or anything like that. I didn't sign the petition. There's so much fraud involved.
Ma'am,
That's all I want.
Ma'am, I'm
Okay.
going to tell you, if that's what you're really after,
Yes.
I think that sounds like that's going to be something in the family law court. So I don't.
Oh
know
no,
if there's
they're the ones who committed. Some of the people there committed the fraud. I'm just after the people who enticed them. I'm not family court people. I'm not after any court clerks. I'm after who called in, who did this, and influenced some of these decisions. It's very fraudulent. I just want them on my side. But you can't go to family court and say resolve this when it's family court who is involved in this and all the fraud. Like they,
Okay,
yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I can't give you any legal advice, but I'm going to just continue this till May 5th. But
Yes.
by that point in time, I'm going to spell this out. So the status conference, on the ex parte to continue it, that is granted.
Yes.
Ex parte.
Thank you.
Is granted. Okay. The hearing on the status conference.
And by the way, I disagree with you that this case has to rely on what happens in the related cases. I could drop that. I could have this case on its own because I do have a right.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, let me just finish writing this.
Sure.
The hearing on the status conference is continued to May 5, 26 at 10 a.m. in Department 50. Okay. By that date, plaintiff must have served, filed proof of service as to defendant, LAPD, or LAPD must have answered or have responded to the petition, or plaintiff must have dismissed LAPD, defendant LAPD. So one of three things has to happen. You either dismiss them, they file a response, or you file a proof of service. And then once we get the proof of service, if they haven't responded after that, then you can ask for a default. Also, I would say also by that date, the court anticipates that Department 1 will have ruled upon the notice of related case filed in Department 1. So if you haven't done that already, you have to get that to them.
I'll get that to them today.
As well as the family law.
So, also, just so you know, okay.
The family law case.
So I also want to put on record that I tried to get this kind of, when I'm filing here, I tried to get it out of family court. They kept ignoring, and this case does not belong in family court because it's a civil harassment restraining order, and they aren't. I argued they're not allowed to.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am,
Yeah.
okay.
So.
All right, ma'am. Okay, so I'm gonna. You have to give notice to the. You have to give notice once you get the LAPD served. Now
I will.
I am late with. I have to take another
Yes.
case. That's my informal discovery conference. So.
Yes.
Good luck with that.
I hope to see you in May. I hope you're not off the case. People disappear when they're good on my cases, so it's cool. I like you. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
So here were the questions I wanted to ask her. Oh, sorry. Who told Sergeant Ballerina to stand on somebody's front lawn on Sarah Street? Anyway, whatever. I went through all this, but she's trying to claim that the cases have to be related, and they're going to try to kill the case over there, but I recorded the whole thing, so that's cool. I'm just going to post this. I don't care. If I can't, they'll say it's illegal to record these conferences, but they're trying to kill my case or trying to send it to family law when it's a civil harassment restraining order. It does not belong in family court. Okay? All right.
Yeah. Okay. And, all right, then we have an ex parte Young versus LA Police Department.
Present, Your Honor.
Do we have?
Oh,
Okay.
petitioner present, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Soraya Kelly on behalf of the respondent, City of Los Angeles.
Okay. Is this the case where we were going to find out about the writ going somewhere else?
That's correct, Your Honor. And I should note for the record, my colleague Sharon Ling generally is on this case, but she was unavailable to attend today, so I'm appearing on her behalf. But yes, my understanding from Ms. Ling is that at the last status conference that the court and the parties talked about transferring the case over to the writs and receivers department.
And I don't have an answer on that yet, although I have it on my list of trying to find out an answer to it.
Got it.
So I don't have an answer, but this today is to advance the hearing on the demur and status conference, interestingly enough, by the petitioner. It's not usually how it goes, but I can, the date I have to advance it would be July 31st at 10 o'clock. But I also need courtesy copies of documents, so make sure that you get me courtesy copies of them. Does that work for you folks, July 31st?
Yes, Your Honor, and I guess, can I just mail in the courtesy copies since I'm in Florida? Would that be okay, right?
Okay. Yes, that would be helpful.
Okay.
I didn't know you were in Florida, but okay. I'll make a note of that. Plaintiff is in Florida. But I need him from the moving party as well.
Okay.
Okay, so you need courtesy copies of the demur.
Yes, and the reply if there's going to be one.
Okay.
I already docketed many things over the last couple of days. I already replied and submitted an addendum. It's all in the docket, but I will mail in all the courtesy copies for this.
Okay.
And you said, Your Honor, you said July 31st at 10 a.m.?
Right. So we'll advance the hearing on the demur to that date and time, if that works for everybody?
Would it be
I think, let me think
would
more.
it be possible to advance all the hearings on the same day? There's also a status conference and a case management. There's 3 hearings in the future. If you could just put them all on the same date, maybe, or no?
I could possibly do that. What is the status conference?
That is something you ordered at the last hearing because I objected. I also objected, by the way, to transferring the case out of your courtroom in writing. That's there as well.
Right.
But, and then
I know you said that orally.
Yeah,
okay,
I
I'm
said,
looking
but
at my.
but I also
looking at
filed
my
something.
notes.
I also filed something in writing on that, just to be sure that it's clear that I objected to that.
Okay.
So
All right.
then you said,
So this.
yeah, sorry.
Wait a minute. I see that in January, on January 30th, we had a status conference rate petition to compel disclosure of public records. And then so the ex parte application for continuance was granted. And then we had a notice of related case that was filed in the family law department. Okay, then the hearing on the status conference was continued, but the plaintiff was to have filed a proof of service as to defendant LAPD, or LAPD must have responded to the petition, or plaintiff have dismissed them. That's what the status conference was about.
And
And hopefully that Department 1 would have ruled on the related case, but let's see if that happened. Let's see. So where? Letty, do you see any ruling by Department 1 on this notice of related case? What date was that filed? Huh.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yeah. Yes.
at the first status conference in July, in January 30th, 2 problems. I needed to serve LAPD, which I achieved by May 5th in an odd way, but they said they were served, so I didn't argue. It just seemed awfully funny the way it happened, because the service is still going on through the sheriff's department right now. But they said so, so I'm going to go with that. And then another problem at the January 30th hearing was that you said, even though I filed a notice of related case, I had to do something special to file it as well in, now I have to file it, I guess, on LAPD as well, now that they're served, but also in Department 1 in some way. And I said, I would prefer, this is like a standalone case that's very complicated. The case in the family law, I tried to fight over there, and it's a closed case, and it's a mess, and I'm accusing them of some fraud, but I'm not suing them for it. But there seems to be some kind of funny business going on in Department 1 over this restraining order. It's a closed case. This is a standalone CAPRA request, and I don't
Okay,
want to complicate
ma'am.
it. So you said,
Well, but that's not how it works. So
right.
you just have to do it. But let me just see if we've gotten a rule. Did you file it in Department 1?
No, I preferred to wait until after the demur is through here.
No, there's no preferring.
I said that there was no legal. I said this was I'm arguing this is a standalone, and I said if you're going to force me to relate it, that's okay. But I will file. I will do it. But I will, if it's an order. You said that you anticipated there might be some resolution on this, but you didn't actually order it. If you're going to order it,
well, here, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking at the document. And November 7, notice of related case. There's a note here. No action taken. Ruling to be determined by Department 1. But I don't know. Let's see if it's been filed in Department 1. Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying, I don't think Department 1 knows they have this on their plate. So, all right, Letty's going to file the send them a copy of that. So, but
you.
the status conference, that's one of the things that we were looking at, was about what was going to happen with LAPD. But if they filed a demur, so they have responded. So I don't think we need a status conference regarding service. But I think we'll just move. So we're going to vacate, Letty. We're going to vacate the August 2026 conference. It's moot now because they responded. All right, so then it's a good idea. Let's take the August 20 CMC and we'll put it with the demur on July 31st at 10 a.m. in Department 50. Department 508 now, that's where we are. Okay, and so I need the courtesy, okay, I'm going to say moving party, just the parties. The parties are to deliver, and mail is okay, courtesy copies to Department 508 of the demur response or opposition and reply. Okay.
I'd just like to say that last night I had an email from your court clerk that said that they wanted the courtesy copies, and I politely, said that, I was in Florida, I'm pro se,
fine.
and I'm on fee waiver.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
I just want to say I appreciate them taking that into consideration and not requiring it for
Yeah.
this hearing. Thank you, court clerk.
That's fine.
Miss Court Clerk.
That's fine. Okay, so also, Letty, will note that the JA will send Department 1 a copy of the notice. I don't know if it's been filed there, how that works, Letty, so we'll find out. Notice of related case. Yeah, it's filed in Arcade, and it pertains to okay, wait a minute. What does this pertain to? It pertains to Central District case, which is not going to get related. But there's another case.
Yeah, Your Honor, if I may, I based on what I know of this case, I don't believe that there's sort of a relationship with the cases. As petitioner stated, this is sort of a standalone CPRA case regarding a CPRA request that was sent to LAPD for their investigation records regarding a January 2023 arrest. So the issues in the CPRA case are, they're limited to like, are there records? What the agency did to search for records, and also are the records exempt from disclosure? And really, in this case, the central question is, that the application of an exemption to these records.
Okay, I don't think I can decide this. So there's a family law case. I think the problem here is going to be that this notice of related case hasn't been filed. We're not going to relate anything to the Central District Courts. That one's going to be irrelevant. But the family law one, I don't know that you filed it in the family law department.
Yes, I filed a notice of related case in the family law department as well.
Okay. But did you also file it in Department 1?
No, that's the one thing that was confusing, even
That's when you did.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Letty, are they going to allow that if the party didn't file it in Department 1? Okay. All right. Well, will you confirm that you're seeing that it's filed in the family law court? You can't? Oh, can I? Oh. Okay. Well, we're gonna see what Department 1 does with this. This is 22 STRO.
Your Honor, it appears respondent is sort of backpedaling on the request to transfer to another department through Department 1? Is this correct? Are they withdrawing?
No, that's me. I
Okay.
didn't get that through, so I'm gonna look at that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, and if I can
Okay.
clarify
Okay,
my
we're gonna
position, I think, yeah, if I can
Okay.
clarify my position is that this case is not related to
I
the
understand.
family law
I
case, but
understand, ma'am,
yeah.
ma'am, because my clerk's gotta go. I understand that Department 1 has to make the decision when there's two different departments. So they're probably not gonna relate it. I'm gonna say that's highly unlikely, but we have to do it.
Okay.
All right, so is notice waived on what we've moved here?
Yes, Your Honor.
The status conference is
Oh.
vacated, the CMC and the demur are now on July 31st.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. From
Decide
petitioner.
waiving notice?
Respondent waives notice. Yes,
Okay,
Your Honor.
all right, folks. All right, thank you. We'll see you then. Okay, that's okay now, no problem. Okay, all right, Mike, JA just has to go to lunch. Okay, all right.
Happy lunch.
All right, so I think that's it for you folks. I have an IDC. Let me follow up on this.
And good morning, folks. I need a moment to log in. I'll be right with you. Okay, I am ready. I'm going to call matter 2. This is Young versus Los Angeles Police Department. So, petitioner, Ms. Young, are you out there?
Yes, Your Honor. Petitioner present.
Thank you. Who's here for the respondent?
Good morning, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Sharon Liang for respondent.
Thank you. Okay. So, a couple of things. First of all, in looking at this ex parte application, it is apparent to me that we did not yet reassign this case to a writs and receivers department. Let me just review the bidding here. On May 19, 2026, Judge Beaudet referred the case to this department, Department 534, for reassignment to writs and receivers. And I agree with Judge Beaudet that this case should have been in a writs and receivers department. So
It's not clear in the order, Your Honor. Excuse me. It's not clear in the order that it was actually Judge.
wait, hold on,
Oh,
hold on.
okay.
I can't hear you.
Uh,
So what I want you to do is speak less loudly.
less loudly?
Yeah, softer. 'Cause
Okay.
you're just coming in as a blast of sound.
Oh, I could turn down my volume. So it was not clear in the order that the order came from Judge Beaudet. It seemed like it came from somewhere else. Also, the ex parte today is to make sure before any transfers occur that the long-standing issue of relatedness gets decided before any transfer, and also no transfer occur before the writ that I submitted to the appellate court gets decided. And also, I was just worried about delay in this case. I always argued that Judge Beaudet was fully capable of hearing the straightforward CAPRA petition. The other side agrees that it's not complicated and complex, so I don't understand. It just seems to me like it's more a political move than anything, and that's what I'm just trying to protect my rights here, because
Okay.
yeah, that's all.
Well, let me comment on a couple things.
Sure.
First of all, this department is the master calendar department of the supervising judge of the civil division, and I am the supervising judge of the civil division, and I have certain administrative responsibilities. But what I am not is the boss of any other judge, nor am I the court of appeal. So when a judge makes an order or doesn't do something or does something that somebody doesn't like, it is not the case that that a litigant can come to me and say, Judge Riff, you need to fix it because you're the boss. That's not how it works. I am not the boss of anybody with respect to judicial decision making. So Judge Beaudet made an order on May 19. There's a minute order referring the case, transferring the matter to this department for reassignment. And that's completely appropriate. And because this is the department that reassigns cases if reassignment is necessary. In my judgment, this case should be reassigned to a writs and receivers department, and I'm going to ask the staff here in our courtroom today to arrange for that to happen. So that's item number one. And I believe, and don't take me to the bank on this, either of you, but I believe, based on the case number, that this case will go to Judge Lipner, Lipner, in one of our 3 writs and receiver departments here in the Moss Courthouse. Okay. Number 2. You are telling me something about a notice of related case, Ms. Young?
Yes, it was filed in November. It was filed in November when I filed this original case.
Okay. So, and are the cases to be related according to you this case? Well, it's this case and some other kind of case, right?
Yes, it's this case and a family law case, which has been accused by me of being very, heavy on fraud. But even the other side doesn't want it related because it's very detrimental to their case. So it seems to me that the other side is getting what they want, which is the simple, straightforward CPRA petition that could be decided by any judge to be transferred without it being complicated with the additional relationships. And I'm just saying, you either...
Okay, wait, hold on, please stop.
Sure.
Because I'm still dealing with just procedural matters. Now I see, because I dig into the file, that on November 7, you filed a notice of related case. In this case, and you identified a family law case, looks like it's a restraining order matter involving Department 25 and Judge Birdsong. Now, when there is a request to relate a civil case and a family law case, which is what this is, that does come before me. That's my decision. Now, it comes before me only if everybody follows the rules. And the rules are that the notice of related case needs to be filed in both cases, this case and the family law case, and then the notice of related case needs to be, I think the local rule actually says filed in this department, formerly Department 1, now Department 534. Now, the fact that this has been sitting there since November, not ruled on, means that it never got put on this department's calendar for decision.
Your Honor, this was brought up at the last ex parte hearing in Department 508, and she said, the judge, Beaudet, said her court clerk was going to bring this matter because, it's been going on forever, this issue. She was going to bring the relatedness issue, and I am just saying on appeal for review is that I believe the relatedness issue should be decided before any transfer. It's just...
Well,
yeah.
I don't agree with you. I mean, if I decide to relate these cases, what's going to happen, it necessarily will be the case that it's going to get, that the civil case will get related to the family law case and sent to a family law judge.
That's
And-
the problem, Your Honor, is that it's a conflict of interest in that most of this case is accusing the family law judge and the family law court of fraud.
Okay, well, let me just find out, Ms. Young, do you want the cases related or not?
I do not want them related if it takes it out of Department 508, which has heard this case several times already. She's very familiar with it, and I question your statement that she is the one who ordered this. I do not believe
Well,
she ordered this, even though it's on an order.
I mean,
Yes,
Ms. Young, you can question it, but I'm looking at a minute order.
right. And what does
I mean,
it say on the
there's a
minute
minute-
order?
There's a minute order from that department, so, I mean, there's not much to debate there. So let me just find out from Ms. Liang, you out there?
I'm here.
Okay. What's your position on whether these cases should or should not be related?
The city's position is
I
that,
can't hear you. Speak up, please.
can you hear me now?
A little better, but not great.
How about this?
Okay, nice and loud.
All right. It's our position that the cases are not related whatsoever.
All right. Neither of you want the cases related. I'll make an order. The cases are not related. The notice of related case is denied. All right, Ms. Young, so the case is not going to go to a family law department.
Okay, so the other issue is, if they're not related, why is this going to a writs and receivers department if it's just a straightforward CPRA petition, which the other side agrees with? It's a straightforward CPRA petition. It's very specific. It's just asking for a couple of things, one way or the other. There's a demur. You either say yes or no, and we're done. And you're saying that Beaudet, which I'm arguing with you, did not actually, because she knows that I really, really preferred her on this case. She's very familiar with it. I'm pro se. I've asked for it several times. In the appeal, you can see I have a very long documented history of wanting this case to remain. I even have a stipulation that is very reasonable to the other side that is only contingent on it remaining in that department, because I do not trust any other judges on this case. And the other side, I've accused them of judge shopping. And that's all, and it's all in the appeal. And I don't see why you're making all these decisions before the actual appellate court makes a decision on my writ of mandate to hold everything, stay all proceedings until the writ comes through. I mean, why are you doing all this right now and making these decisions while there's an appeal out? I mean, it's not an appeal. It's not an appeal. It's actually a petition for a writ of mandate, but it's
No, I
on the
understand.
record. Yes.
So let me explain, and then we'll go from there. So my job is to administer the local rules of our court. We have local rules that, among other things, allocate the distribution of business of the court. That's how we put it. And I am telling you that in my judgment that this case should have been assigned to a writs and receivers department, given the nature of the case and the relief sought. So the reason I'm going to reassign it to a writs and receivers department is A, Judge Beaudet referred it to me to consider that, and B, I think that's the right thing to do, consistent with the local rules. The other side has nothing to do with this. Whether they're judge shopping or not, I don't have an opinion on, but they're playing no role in...
They played 100% role in this, Your Honor, in that they requested the transfer against my objections several times. So I do not, yeah.
I believe you. I mean, I will accept that itself.
You have and this is why they're doing this, because they want a judge who has no idea of the history of this case and is doing things that you're doing right now, which is making decisions when all I'm asking for is that you make no decisions until the appellate review has a chance to look at this. Why are you making...
I understand.
Yes.
I understand what you're saying. What you're asking for, in legal terms, is a stay.
Yes.
You want a stay, and You know, you may not be happy with what I'm about to tell you. I am not the right judge to ask that of. This case is not assigned to me.
I know, I'm asking it of the appellate
Hold on,
court.
wait, please don't interrupt me. I told you I have certain administrative responsibilities. This case has been assigned to Judge Beaudet. It's about to be assigned to a different judge.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Judge Lipner. And if Judge Lipner chooses to stay the case,
No,
pending the writ,
I'm not trying to stay the case. I'm trying to stay the transfer in the appeal, and not the appeal.
well,
So once it's transferred, the writ of appeal becomes moot, and you're overstepping your power as a judge over the appellate review of the transfer, not the case. There's nothing about the case. The case is fine. I'm just appealing the actual act of transferring it out of Judge Baudet's courtroom, and whatever that is, it seemed like it was a lot of pressure. This case is highly political pressure, at least. I mean, factually, it's very simple. Unfortunately, I have huge amounts of pressure against me politically, but she is a non-corrupt judge. She can decide a simple, straightforward CPRA petition on its own.
okay,
Yeah, so.
all right, I know you're repeating yourself, and I'm afraid I'm going to repeat myself. So here's my decision.
That's fine.
Ms. Young. In my opinion, this case needs to be transferred in order to comply with our local rules. I'm going to transfer it. And so your request to me to not transfer it, to stay the transfer pending the Court of Appeals decision on a writ, is denied. I'm denying your request.
Okay.
And then the Court of Appeal will do what the Court of Appeal does. They will rule on the writ in their good time when they're ready to do it. So respectfully, the ruling I'm making here today is I'm denying your ex parte application.
Okay.
All right? So that's what I'm doing.
There was
And I'm
something.
sorry
There was a hearing for you without anybody noticing on your calendar for June 6th. I don't understand what that hearing is for. If you've already decided all these things, there was a June 6th hearing. So, I'm not with anybody. It was a closed hearing. Didn't have anything to do with anything.
Let me take a look.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
You're making decisions without any knowledge of what is going on this case, which is what the other side wants.
Okay, so the future hearing is actually set for June 8th, not June 6th. It's a non-appearance case review regarding notice of related case with, it looks like not this case, but some other case from some other county with a case number 2:25CV07597 WLHAGR. Let me see if I can figure out what that case is.
It's probably the federal case.
Oh, that's a federal case? Okay. Well, I guarantee you we are not going to relate
Of course.
any state court case to a federal case.
I didn't ask for that.
So-
Yeah. So.
I didn't either. I don't know why this is on this calendar for a non-appearance case review. So
Because-
it's not a hearing.
Because this is a
It's
very,
not-
very big case that you should pay attention to, because everything is going to eventually get to federal court on this for review. So, I mean, I just filed something last night on this. So that's,
Okay.
I think you should really pay more attention to this, but, that's up to you. I mean, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter to me what you order today. I'm just saying every little decision on this case is going to be looked at very carefully.
Okay, fine. All right, so
That's
the
good.
ex parte, let me just be clear what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
I'm denying your ex parte.
It's fine.
I'm going to require Ms. Liang to give notice in writing of the denial of the ex parte, and I'm going to request the court staff here in Department 534 to make the reassignment to a writs and receivers department. Okay, we are done on this matter today. I wish you both good luck and have a good day.
You're going to need
The
more
hearing
luck
is
than me,
concluded.
actually, but that's okay. Thank you. Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right, goodbye.
Bye.
Okay,
All right, now the next one. The next one is Young versus Los Angeles Police Department.
Plaintiff present, Your Honor. You get Nicole Young.
Okay, all right. Ms. Young.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure the other side is here. I don't think so.
Observing or advancing hearing date, resolving case relating to staying any transfer pending writ.
No. That was
Okay.
decided. It's just this morning. I mean, since then, there's been an order to transfer this case. It was first
Right.
transferred to 534, and I just had a hearing there this morning, and he had no idea what anything was going on. But one of the things I just wanted to update you on this.
Wait
Oh.
a minute. This case, I believe, has already been transferred.
Yeah, it was just transferred
us.
today. I mean, it was just
Okay, so I can't hear this.
okay.
If the case, because Department One said they were going to I checked on what was supposed to happen. They said it got transferred. So this case.
You're
I
not going to
believe-
hear anything. I just wanted to ask if you were the one who ordered the transfer to writs and receivers, because I would be okay with it. But if it was against your will, you didn't
Okay,
want.
ma'am,
so-
I can't actually have ex parte communications. All I can tell you is Department One controls that.
Okay, and Department One just filed a minute order that said there were no appearances by either party when we were obviously there, and then they transferred it to Lipner, who was not in writs and receivers. So I'm just letting you know I'm going to be arguing this more. So, I mean,
Okay, I actually thought he was the person who was going to hear it, but we don't have this case anymore.
okay,
so
thank you,
you're
Your
in
Honor.
custody.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm
All
just
right.
letting you know I'm fighting it. So, okay, thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right,
Bye.
that's not our case.